Hello again. It is I, Zek, and today we find ourselves taking a gander at Mortal Kombat X. Of course, we'll be analyzing my boy Quan Chi. Who else? We'll start by taking a look at him with no variation, and then analyzing the different parts of his kit. Now, quite a bit had changed in between Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X. 4 years had passed since the initial release, and the game would be designed to favor aggression a lot more, shifting the focus from the arcade-style gameplay of MK9 to something more about guessing games and 50-50s in Mortal Kombat X, where one touch could deplete your entire health bar. So, to begin, Quan is an interesting character. His fundamentals are simple enough. He has decent movement, a very powerful neutral jump punch, which is another new aspect, by the way, of Mortal Kombat X. The fact that characters have different aerial attacks. So Quan Chi's NJP has massive range, and is pretty good air-to-air. So does his jumping 1 and jumping 2. And his jumping 3 and 4 aren't terrible. They can be special cancelled into the fabled sky drop and into some other moves. Now, in terms of his buttons, Quan Chi's sweep is okay. It has good distance. He has a down 1. It's very fast. 6 frames, as you can see, making it a better down 1. Not super plus on hit, but plus enough to allow you to take your turn. Then he has this back 2, which is a mid with massive range. It can be delayed. Delay it long enough to get a launch, which leads to a full combo. Now he also has this forward 4, which is an overhead that leads to a wonderful string known as the Bonehawk Shuffle by much of the Quan Chi fanbase. Forward 4, down 4, a nice overhead low. Trip guard. Finally, we have, most importantly, his back 3. And this move leads to his main launcher, the Quan Fu. Bat string leads to great damage, great meterless damage, and it's quite quick, so that means you can use it as a punish, which is very useful. 10 frames on startup. Now, in terms of his 50-50 game, the forward 4 is 14 frames on startup, which means that this is a pretty difficult guess for the opponent, because even though forward 4 costs you meter, it still launches, as you can see. Now, in terms of his special moves, Quan has a few universals. Down back 2, the skull, which can be done airborne, and if you're fast enough, instant aired. On EX, it pops the opponent up. It's massively plus on block. Down back 1, which is ground burst or rune. You can steer this one close, normal, or far. And on EX, this move hits low and launches, which is pretty good. Now, he also has Skydrop. This is his only armored move, and it's very bad, even though it's better in this final patch than it's ever been. Enhancing it gives us 15% and also access to a brutality. His final universal move is Trance, which in this game has short range, but recaptures the opponent for a full launch. Now, it does add quite a bit of scaling, 20%, so using it later in combos like in Mortal Kombat 9 is advised, but you can't always do that in this game. So often the best that you're going to get is, if you want to be maximum damage, is that. However, doing this means that there'll be no gravity left for your follow-up, which is a problem, because we need gravity to be able to knock the opponent down with 1-4-1 in order to start zoning, because, oh yes, Quan Chi is a great zoner, maybe the best in the game, and also an exceptional glass cannon in terms of glass cannons in Mortal Kombat games, because despite having low defense, he has unbelievably high offense. Now, for other universal strings, he has the forward 2-1-2-2, which launches. He has this, the forward 1-4-2, which splats and sends the opponent full screen, a bit further than 1-4-1, just a bit. And then he has a few incomplete strings. He has 2-1, which pops the opponent up. Now this move adds damage scaling and uses up all of your gravity, so comboing from it isn't very useful. And then he has 1-2, which is an extremely fast punish that can be linked into trance. It can also be linked into ground burst for the follow-up. It's very, very powerful. Now, oh yes, I forgot to mention, his down 3 has incredible anti-air properties and is one of the best in the game. And I'll show you what I mean here by so if you catch the opponent out of the air with that, you get a full combo, which is pretty good. And it's pretty easy to do consistently if you're paying attention. As you can see, you can also meet them with this instant diagonal jump 1, which also leads to the same situation. Or you can back jump in some cases. In either case, the opponent is taking lots of damage for their insolence. Now, let's reset. There it is. Okay. So, let's just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh yes, enchantment. Right. That's the last one. Back 1-2. This string is strange. It doesn't hit at max range, which is bizarre. But if it connects, it can be special cancelled, which is okay. I don't actually think it has any real use. Yeah, it's -9 on block. It's pretty slow on startup. And so is the back one that leads to it. Only +2 on hit. So I don't really see a use for that. But in some situations it can be useful. I do throw it out there sometimes. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to do that. That doesn't make any sense. But I mean, even if you wouldn't want to do that, this game allows you the freedom to do it. Now, okay, for variations. Mortal Kombat X is a game where each character has 3 variations on their move list. These variations tweak moves, replace moves, and add moves, often greatly altering the way in which their character is played. Quan Chi is fortunate to be blessed with 2 good variations and only 1 bad one, so I'll start with the bad one. Warlock Quan, at some point in his life, through Mortal Kombat X's history, was viable, but it isn't now. Now in this variation, we get portals and portal-related special moves, such as this new forward 3, which is a 9% tracking mid that hits full screen. And this thing does wonders for your zoning. Truly wonders. Now this 4-3 is also added to the 2-1 string, which, as you can see, knocks the opponent back twice as far. This string is very strange and has no use, because if you whiff it, it's not like the forward 3 comes out. Anyway, no matter. The other thing Quan Chi receives is 2 new special moves. We have this throw, which is down forward 2. It's very good for adding a little bit of damage at the end of combos. Well, that's a bad example, actually. We'll do it this way. As you can see, that does maybe 1.5% more than the normal B&B, so that's nice. And also, if you enhance that move, we get the Portal Stab. The Portal Stab leaves the opponent in a hit stun state that's dependent on how much gravity's been used. In this state, they can only block, which means you put them in a situation where they have to guess for your 50-50. So you can go low, or, of course, rather overhead, or you can go low. Now, of course, your overhead isn't free because you have to spend meter, but you know. Watch the inputs there, by the way, because if you whiff the away input when you're locked in the animation, then you're not going to get trance to come out. As you can see there, though, they fall very quickly. So you have to make sure that you do combos where the opponent is not too far away from you, because you won't have time to run cancel into your 50-50, usually. And that was what they did in the last patch. They really nerfed him a lot in this variation, which is why he's not playable. Finally, he has this, down forward 1, which is a very quick low. And if you EX it, you get a combo launch. But as you can see, it's not very good. See? Doesn't do a lot of damage, adds quite a bit of scaling, and it's mega unsafe. Yeah, there's just no reason to, it's -5 on hit, it's true. It's -5 on hit, that's ridiculous. Yeah, no, it's not very good. Don't play this variation. I mean, sure, the glowy green bones are nice and all, and if you're playing this variation only for the forward 4, I can see it, but you know, even if you're doing something like this, no, they're just going to fall. You won't have the gravity, and that's because in his best variation he gets ways to fix for that gravity and account for it, which he does not have here. Now, of course, oh, I forgot about this in the generic section. The forward 1 out of the forward 1-4-2 string can be used to mix the opponent up, because it puts them in a state where they won't necessarily want to react, because it just looks like a poke. It's not actually plus. I think it's -1 or something, but, oh, it's -5, that's actually super unsafe, but it doesn't look super punishable. Oh, and another generic node, forward 2-1-2, is 0, it's 0, which means that you can do this safely. Oh, it's -1 rather, which means you can do it on block, and then backdash, which is pretty good, because that'll allow you to build distance and start your zoning. Now you can actually do this move pretty quickly, so if it does whiff, you can just repeat it for more meter builds. That, of course, isn't actually real, so don't do that at home. Anyway, moving on to better variations. Sorcerer Quan Chi has the fabled Mortal Kombat 9 energy of buffs and debuffs. In this variation, Quan Chi gets 3 special moves, which are portals. His down 1 summons a portal that allows you to drain the opponent's special meter. And it's a pretty significant drain, as you can see there. But trance takes a huge amount. It also makes the magic nice and purple. Down 2 is the chip damage rune. This one will greatly increase the chip damage the opponent takes. And I'll show you some setups with that after, because it's quite interesting. And then down 3 gives us armor. A single hit of armor every, I think, 4.5 seconds. It's quite good, because summoning this at full screen or even after a hard knockdown means the opponent's wake-up attack won't hit as we continue to juggle them. And I'll show you what we mean. Okay, well that one doesn't count because a Kunjin player wouldn't do that, because that's very bad. But right, so right. So we'll also put him on auto block, just so you can see. Now another thing in Sorcerer is we do suboptimal combos that have worse gravity because we want them to take longer, so our portal will refresh. But let's say we hit with this or something, you know? Or maybe, right, okay. Let's say we hit with this. Alright. Look at this fucking chip damage, it's ridiculous. My god. It's really gross. Okay. As for the armor portal, this one is far more consistent. The chip damage portal is not very good, but the armor portal is much, a much safer choice. Oh. That was a bad example. Let's just do this. See? There. And if you time it just right, then you can get another one out. Right, anyway. Right, so it's very cool. Then the meter drain portal, of course, is more used for, because it's so fast, you can actually use it in your trans plus frames if you're timing it perfectly. Of course. The trick with this one is you have to stay in it, right? But even one sequence of that takes away 3 bars of meter, which is just disgusting. And it also drains meter on block, which is also disgusting. As you can see there. It's really gross. So Sorcerer is a very powerful variation for Quan Chi that improves his zoning and his offense slightly, while also giving him considerably more utility. Which everybody likes a bit of utility. Right. Now, for the fabled summoner. This variation is completely ridiculous. Oh, sorry, I was thirsty. Summoner Quan gives him only one special move, but you have lots of options with it. Down back 3. You summon a demon from the Netherrealm to serve you for a few moments, and then it's gone. Then there's a small cooldown where he can't summon it again. Now you can do a few things with this. You can declare it to attack. You can have it shoot a fireball. You can make it do an anti-air. You can command it for a low. Or you can have it do a throw at full screen, which is kind of funny. So 5 options. Now, as you can see, they're all relatively good on block, and they have quite a bit of hit advantage. But I'm sure you've also already discerned that this bat can be made to hit low, and we have overheads, which means we can create some very gross, hard-to-blockable situations. Another thing that this demon also does for us, its name is Puggles, by the way. And I'm not joking, we know it's Puggles because of the name of the brutality with it. Puggles' Wrath. So, this demon can extend our combos to ridiculous heights, especially in the corner. Now in the mid-screen, it can also buff our zoning. Send the opponent full screen. As you can see, we have a very cruel level of zoning with this. Summoning it and instantly firing it is also very good to challenge the opponent in situations where they think that they're safe, or if they're used to you respecting them, you can show disrespect with that. But of course, it can also be used if you're really good to link that into which is very difficult to do. That's the Shujinkiting special, which is to link a rune into another one at full screen, like that. But right, you see it has a lot of potential. Now the other thing it can be used is to send the opponent full screen with a run cancel combo, which is very good as well. Beat him up a little bit. In the corner, normally our forward 4 down 4 doesn't combo, but with Puggles, our forward 4 down 4 does combo, which can be used to enforce different types of mix-ups for meterless launches. It can also be used to launch off of other buttons as well that normally wouldn't launch. For example, Skull is extremely plus on hit, and we can recapture that momentum. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Oh, I dropped it. Oh, nobody saw that. So as you can see, Quan Chi has many options off of this variation, and they are dirty. Even in the mid-screen, he can convert, as you can see, meterless off of your overhead. Oh, I didn't run long enough there. See, very tricky. And if you do that too soon, then the sword can't come out. But you can't wait too long or the opponent will be able to block. There we go. Yes. Start the zoning. Oh yeah, the anti-air. So, this thing, it's not super good. It's probably the worst of the options. Well, actually the throw is pretty bad too. Compared to how good this is, at least. But the anti-air has some interesting implications, where at least not here, but you can recapture from it with trance. And as you can see by how floaty he is, it doesn't use that much gravity. Of course, I don't actually know. Actually, no, that doesn't work. Oh, there's probably a way to use this. Oh, that's okay, actually. Oh yeah, yeah. So with EX Skull full screen, this can be gross. Oh, as you can see, the possibilities are endless. As long as you deploy the bat soon enough, it will reach the opponent. I wonder if I can, oh, that's so gross. Well, there you go. A brief introduction to Quan Chi. Great offense, incredible zoning, oppressive mix-ups, and the worst defensive options by far in the entire game, except for maybe Blood God Kotal Khan, who literally has no armor at all. Oh, speaking of the armor, you can actually launch off of this in the corner. Mid-screen you can't, but in the corner, which this is you'll never do this in tournament or in a real fight, but you can convert that, which is really, and look at all that look at all the gravity that he has. Oh, I dropped it. Again, I'm playing on a 360 controller, so forgive me. Okay. Oh, I see. You really have to immediately hit the sky drop. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, doing EX Trance allows you to summon puggles before they regain control, so you can use the puggles in the combo and then summon another puggles once you're done, which is really, really gross. I wonder if that will work. Oh no, it doesn't, okay. I mean, obviously, if you need to send them full screen, you can just, you know, but Quan Chi can do that in any variation. Yeah, the mind games are pretty brutal with that. Oh my god. 141, some puddles. Now this can actually happen very often in real games, that like you just hit your opponent with the 50-50 raw and then they just die randomly because it does so much damage. Like, you can disappear the entire health bar with that. Well, there you have it. Our boy Quan Chi. I'll see you in the next video for the tower. Have a wonderful and relaxing day.